Dolphins fans, welcome in to Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott. Thanks so much for joining us here on Dolphins Live. And as I mentioned, if you're watching us live, there is a lot of news and rumors to discuss. But we wanted to start the show talking about the latest on Damar Hamlin. And we received an incredible and a positive update this morning from the Buffalo Bills. This is the statement. Per the physicians caring for Damar Hamlin at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, Damar has shown remarkable improvement over the past 24 hours. While still critically ill, he has demonstrated that he appears to be neurologically intact. His lungs continue to heal, and he is making steady progress. We are grateful for the love and support we have received. Just incredible news. Prayer is so powerful. Continue to pray for Damar Hamlin and his family. Our thoughts are still with them, but that's just sensational news, and we were all waiting for a really positive update like that. We also heard a little bit later on some doctors at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center at a press conference saying he is awake and that he has movement in his hands. He's able to kind of hold hands with family and friends, and the first thing he asked when he woke up was who won the game. So that is awesome to hear that he's certainly improved. Still critical, but our thoughts and prayers continue to be with Damar Hamlin, his family, and the Buffalo Bills organization. Now let's get into some Dolphins news and rumors. I'm sure a lot of y'all clicked on this video because of the playoff title, the playoffs in the title. We're going to talk about that later on in the show. Let's start with talking about Byron Jones. So Sam Madison, the Dolphins cornerbacks coach, obviously a Dolphins legend, had a press conference today, and he was asked about Byron Jones a lot, and he says that Byron Jones, quote, could have helped Miami this season. Of course, Byron Jones has not played this year, had the cleanup surgery on his ankle in the spring, was expected to be ready for training camp, and then we get to training camp and he gets put on PUP. And they're like, okay, maybe he'll be ready by the preseason. He wasn't. Okay, maybe he'll be ready by the regular season. He wasn't. Okay, maybe he's going to be ready by week 4. He wasn't. Maybe he'll be ready after the bye week. He wasn't. And he's still not going to be back, and he's probably going to be out, obviously, the entire year at this point. There's just 1 week left in the regular season. And reports are that he wasn't really in the building that much. Sam Madison even said that he hadn't even talked to Byron Jones much. Here's what Sam Madison said about it. He could have helped if able. Injuries come up. Some people fight through them. Some people don't. Interesting. There is a 0, and I mean a 0% chance that Byron Jones is a Miami Dolphin next season. It's not going to happen. I think it's time to move on. It's going to be difficult, though, to trade him because you look at the contract. He's owed over $25 million the next 2 years before becoming an unrestricted free agent in 2025. So I think he's probably going to get cut. You shouldn't cut him before June 1st. You'd only be saving $4 million. But the cap savings, if you cut him post June 1st, obviously a big difference there. $14.1 million compared to just $4 million. Now, did Byron Jones quit on the Dolphins? In your opinion, why for yes, in for no, down in the comment section. I thought Sam Madison's comments today were very telling. His coach saying this about him. Why for yes, in for no, down in the comment section. Going from Jones now to Boyer. Barry Jackson tweeted this because Josh Boyer also had a press conference today. Josh Boyer, in what could conceivably be his final appearance with us, says, whatever happens, I'll be okay. Says he won't make a case to McDaniel that he was without Byron Jones, Brandon Jones, Emmanuel Ogbah, and Nick Needham. Sounds like Josh Boyer knows he's gone. Sounds like he knows that it's just inevitable at this point. He's not going to be back next year, and he probably understands why. The defense has underachieved this year. The defense has not been good. And, again, I thought, much like Sam Madison's comments, I thought Josh Boyer's comments were very telling. The fact that he's like, whatever happens, I'll be okay. I'm not going to make excuses. And props to him for that, for not saying, well, I've dealt with all these injuries. He's taken responsibility for the defense's struggles this year, and I do think that, he's a lot to blame for that, if not everything. Not everything because of the injuries, but it sounds like Josh Boyer knows his fate and that he's not going to be back next season. If the Dolphins lose this week or Patriots win and we miss the playoffs, it's really going to be interesting to see what happens on Monday. Want to tell you about our friends over at Rocket Money. And if one of your New Year's resolutions is to save money, this is one of the ways to do it. It's an app called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. I use it all the time. They're going to show all your subscriptions in one place and then cancel for you whatever you don't still want. You may even find out that you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel one, all you got to do is press cancel. Rocket Money will take care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions now by going to rocketmoney.com/DolphinsChat. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/DolphinsChat. They're also going to track your spending per month on your bills, on your gas, on your food, and it's just a great way to track your spending and save money. I spent way too much money eating out in 2022. I'm trying to limit that this year. I'm doing that through Rocket Money. RocketMoney.com/DolphinsChat. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Going back to Josh Boyer for a second here, and here's why he's very much on the hot seat. I think his seat is hotter than any other coordinator in the division, quite frankly. Dolphins defense, 27th in scoring defense. It's terrible. You have too much talent. I know there's been injuries. Too much talent. Yards, they're 20th. Passing defense, 27th. Rushing defense has been the one thing this year that has been okay. They're top 10 in that category. And then third down defense, as I've been saying, third and Boyer. I mean, you look at some of these packages that he puts out on third down. Wide open, middle of the field. Oh, wow, no one's covering me. Here I am, first down. First down, first down, first down. Every single time on third down. Can you tell I'm upset? These third down packages are killing me. And the Dolphins have one of the worst third down defenses in the league. And Josh Boyer acknowledges that. Barry Jackson tweeted this. When asked about the area, Josh Boyer thought his defense would be better than it has been all season. He mentions third down defense. Dolphins bottom quarter of the league in that. He takes responsibility for third down confusion fiasco on New England's game-sealing touchdown. It cost the Dolphins the game, that touchdown. Cost them the game. Might cost them the season. We'll find out this weekend. Injuries, though, are not a good enough excuse. And again, credit to Josh Boyer for acknowledging that. He's like, I'm not going to make excuses with the injuries. There's still way too much talent on this football team to be struggling the way you are defensively. And Byron Jones hasn't played all year. You know, you've had time to adjust and adapt goodness gracious, adjust and adapt. And you've also had time to do that with Nick Needham. Nick Needham's been out a long time now. Brand Jones been out a long time. You got to adjust. You got to have other guys step up. Here's what Dolphin Nation said about Josh Boyer. They tweeted this out earlier, quoting Armando Salguero, Outkick. According to sources close to the Miami Dolphins, there's no guarantee that Mike McDaniel brings back Josh Boyer next season. If McDaniel survives, and this is in the Salguero article, if McDaniel survives, there's no guarantee for defensive coordinator Josh Boyer, according to a club source. And there's been some talk, there's been some speculation that, is Mike McDaniel in the hot seat? I don't think so. I mean, knowing Stephen Ross, you never know. But you got to keep Mike McDaniel. I think Mike's the guy. I understand you're on a 5-game losing streak. If you lose on Sunday, it's the biggest collapse in franchise history. But give Mike McDaniel another run. But fire Josh Boyer. I think Josh Boyer's been the far bigger issue here. You look at the defense. The defense is really disappointed. Here's my case for keeping Mike McDaniel. Look at what he did with Tua Tagovailoa. Look at Tua's stats and look at the numbers in Tua's first 2 years and look at his numbers this year. Mike McDaniel made Tua a potential superstar in this league. I'm not going to call him a superstar yet. He's got to obviously show a little bit more. But Tua Tagovailoa, we saw his potential obviously go skyrocket, I should say, this season. And I believe that Mike McDaniel's a great offensive mind. He's a player's coach, well-liked. Keep him around. But what should Miami do with Josh Boyer? Type F for fire or type K for keep down in the comment section. Go down, let me know. What should Miami do with their defensive coordinator this offseason? Getting in now to this news that we learned last night. Zach Thomas, a finalist for the Hall of Fame. It became official last night. The Pro Football Hall of Fame announcing their finalist. Our guy, 54, is one of the finalists this year. He's been a finalist the last couple of years and hasn't been selected. And so my message to all the voters is to say, do what's long overdue. This guy had a Hall of Fame career. It is ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, that he's had to wait this long to get his gold jacket. I mean, look at what he did. 12 seasons in Miami, 5-time first-team All-Pro. First team All-Pro, not second team, first team. 7-time Pro Bowler, He was on the 2000s All-Decades team, over 1,700 career tackles, over 20 career sacks. That's a Hall of Fame career and then some. He should have been in several years ago. Put him in the Hall of Fame right now. If you want Zach Thomas in the Hall of Fame, type 54 down in the comment section. That's our guy, man. He's one of the greatest Dolphins ever. He absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Now let's get into this news because a lot of y'all probably clicked on the video for the next few minutes here. So this is going to be confirmed later today, apparently. We're filming this on Thursday during Dolphins Live. There are several reports, and this is obviously not a surprise, that the Bills-Bengals game is going to be ruled a no contest. Practically a tie, and then win percentage is going to factor in here, obviously, to the playoff seeding. But here's what the NFL is considering to make it more fair for Buffalo and Cincinnati, because both of those teams were vying for the number 1 overall seed. Which they're probably not going to get now because of this no contest. The NFL is considering this. The number 1 seed gets to pick home field advantage throughout the playoffs or a bye. So the number 2 seed would get whatever isn't picked. And I think you'd have to pick a bye in that situation. But home field advantage is obviously incredibly important as well. They're also considering a neutral site AFC championship game. And this is the most wild scenario that they are considering to eliminate any team getting a bye by expanding the playoffs to 8 teams, which could obviously very much impact the Dolphins. Here's what Mike Florio said. This is coming from Mike Florio, obviously, at Pro Football Talk. One possibility would be to add an 8th team to the playoff field in the AFC. This would eliminate the bye for the number 1 seed. To ensure competitive balance, there would have to be 8 teams in the NFC too. So if this happens, and obviously the Dolphins need to win and get a little bit of help this weekend, but if this happens, this would mean the Dolphins are in with a win against the Jets. Right now, you need to beat the Jets and have the Patriots lose. But in this situation, you are in with the win. You're back to controlling your own destiny. So that's obviously significant. Now, the Dolphins could not lose and still get in because the Jets could sneak in potentially if you expand to 8 teams. The Jets would obviously have the tiebreaker with the Dolphins, having beaten them twice. So they would still have to win. There's not a scenario if they expand, they could lose and still get in. They have got to win this weekend. But they expand to 8 teams, which, again, this is mainly just speculation. Mike Florio's talking about what the NFL is considering or might consider. Far from official, far from even being on the table. But if that happens, if they expand to 8 teams, the Dolphins would be in with a win this weekend. Be sure to go down and subscribe. Obviously, a lot of news and rumors heading into Week 18. We're going to have you covered here on Dolphins Today.